We are again here in Leipzig, Germany, checking out the new Need for Speed Most Wanted. And the man to ask about the game is Matt Webster at Criterion Games. How are you doing?
I'm very well.
Most Wanted is your second game in the series. So how has the game evolved to this point?
Well, yeah, you're right. It's our second game. In 2010 we released Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. And that game taught us an awful lot as our first Need for Speed game. We'd learned a lot, obviously, from doing Burnout titles. But we also knew when we finished Hot Pursuit that the next thing that we wanted to do was a fully, truly open world game. And so we looked through the whole history of Need for Speed and looking for ideas and inspiration, and we zeroed in on Most Wanted.
Was there any other story about behind the name?
No, not really. I mean, it's the name is everything. Most Wanted is a really powerful premise, and it means as much now as it did way back then. But of course, we don't make sequels to other people's games, and we're all about putting friends at the centre of your gameplay experience. And so, for us, our take on Need for Speed Most Wanted is an open world driving game where players race, chase, and explore and compete to be most wanted amongst their friends.
So the multiplayer aspect is a fairly big one in the game. How you combine that with single player, and how is it balanced?
Well, I think the things that we're saying now is our solo experience is still a very connected experience. So even if you're playing solo, you're still competing against friends. You're, who can go faster through speed cameras, who's the fastest on the race events, who's collected or discovered the most cars, and the most graphic example is who's jumped the most through the furthest through one of our billboards. And when you've done that, we'll put your face on it. So we really want to use our Autolock system to really make players feel like they've got their friends available for competition, whether they're online at the same time or not. So it's an incredibly important system for us, the Autolock system. But now it translates into multiplayer as well. So we've got a full multiplayer career. It's a different progression structure from the single player game, and it's a way different experience in terms of what you get to do. So it revolves around something that we call a speed list. A speed list is made up of 5 events, and those events can be of differing varieties: races, team races, speed tests, which are 90-second tests of your abilities, and challenges, which are really exciting, brand new for Need for Speed, and that's something that where players must co-op together to achieve a particular goal. Speed tests are awesome because they're quick, short, sharp, hits of gameplay, 90 seconds, do the biggest jump, do the most drift, do the fastest speed. But of course there's lots of you playing, and if you take down one of the players that you're playing with, you eliminate them, stop them from scoring. So you've got kind of this tactical game as well. Do I go and set a score first and then go on the attack, or do I clear out the opposition and and open the road for me and for me to take first?
But all of these events, they happen in the open world also. So how do you get from event to event?
It's a great question. So it's something that's really important to us as well. We always want to keep players together. So it's a big open world. We don't think it makes any sense to lock any bits of it off. So it is all open. So every event is preceded by something that we call a meetup, and that's where we say, hey, everyone go here, and we get everyone into the same place. And when they're all in the same place, then the event will automatically begin. We think it's really important because just those things in and of themselves are a great way for people to explore the open world and begin to understand the shortcuts or all the different play that goes way beyond just the road network. And in a friends game, we let players discover and explore with a very loose control. But of course, this speed list is an automated system, so in a public game, if players are stuck or if they're not, deliberately not getting into a particular meetup area for the next event to start, then our systems will pick them up and move them and put them into the right place.
Right. How did you choose all these, the game modes and challenges? How have you figured out which are the most suitable and most wanted in the gaming?
Well, it comes from play. We play the game an awful lot. When you've got 8 to 12 cars in an online game, you can actually practice out a whole bunch of different experiences. And these are the ones that really hooked from us. The challenges are absolutely inspired by some of the things that we discovered in Burnout Paradise with the online challenges, and we've taken them to a next level. But it's all underpinned by a much deeper, a more richly rewarding progression system that people expect from their online experiences today. So it is, it's everything that we know about connected online experiences wrapped in a really cool package for people that rewards people for their play.
And the last question, Autolock has become a pretty regular in almost all EA games. Do you have a certain favorite or a feature that you are hoping that this new Most Wanted will make a regular feature in games?
I just think it's the deeper integration of those comparisons, and it's not just the really competitive ones. So by broadening it out on a bunch of different type of play styles, so we all have friends in our friends network who are very fast at racing or good at putting a 4 or 5 minute race together, and that's quite challenging for new players or players with that are just developing their driving capabilities. So the fact that we're tracking things like the speed cameras, anyone can drive fast through a speed camera, anyone can jump through a billboard. So we've broadened the play, and we think that combined with how we're doing those comparisons and the integration of them deeply into the game, so it really just highlights that friends competitions. We think that's what makes a social game.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.